Gemini, this is your reading, and by that I mean you can apply this video if you have a Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus in Gemini. But also keep in mind that you have to work with me here and tune into your own intuition to ask yourself if this is your reading or not. And you are the best judge of that, not me. So, of course, every reading isn't for everyone, but certain readings really do hit straight in the heart. That is, at least that is my experience. So, we're going to look at 2022 for you. So, usually I do timeless readings, but this one is about next year. So the areas we're going to look into is money, business, money/business, working life, the material stuff in your life. And the other subject is love and relationship. Love, intimate love relationships. So, and then we're gonna finish up with some advice on both money and love. So let's start with the material stuff, the stuff that bounds us to the earth, the stuff that forces us to be humans and interact with other humans in a very nitty-gritty way. So it can be very demanding. If you have a strong spiritual inclination, it can be very demanding to be forced to deal with the everyday life, earning the money, getting to a job, resolving all the small stuff in your everyday life. It can be demanding because could be a tendency, at least for me, and for many other spiritual people, a tendency to want to escape all that material and everyday, exhausting everyday life decisions in the small. But it is very important. And in fact, I think it's a sign of maturity to be able to deal with that as much as the spiritual stuff, because everything is one, and money, work, and everyday life is also God and spirituality. It is as much spirit as sitting alone meditating or drawing tarot cards. So, enough about that. Now I'm going to tune in to your material life in 2022. What is coming for you there? What kind of energies are moving towards you? We're going to ask the cards and the universe for some guidance here. So let's see. Well, interesting. We have the king and the queen. First and foremost, this is a couple on the same level. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So we have swords, and we have the cup, and we have the pentacle. Sword, cup, and pentacle, and one of each. And there's also 3 persons here, 3 characters involved. So we have thoughts, intellect here, we have emotions, and we have the coin, the material stuff, the money. So if I'm going to my own intuition here, you're going to be working with something involving both your emotion and your intellect. And it is going to bring money, but it's not fast-moving money. You're going to have to wait for it. So you might struggle a bit, or I wouldn't say struggle because there's nothing here indicating struggle really. It's more like you're gonna have to invest for a while in your project or your work before you get the coin, so to speak, before you. But I'm gonna take some clarifications here really because I think it's needed. So let's see here. This could also be a very fruitful cooperation between you and another person where you complement each other very well, where one of you are more emotional, intelligent, and the other one maybe has a very sharp intellect. But let's see, I'm going to take some clarifications here. Well. All right. Yeah, so this is kind of confirmed with me here that you're gonna have some strength, some endurance, some patience here before you see the coin coming in. So you're gonna have to endure here. And somehow you're gonna feel emotionally restrained in this job situation. And it could be because love is in the air here. So there is the King and Queen of Cups here, and this is the King of Cups over the King of Swords. So this is indicating to me that you are going to have some cooperation, some colleague or someone you work with whom you feel attracted to. So the question is if this is you, because this is an air sign, but I'm not that stuck to the zodiac signs when I read, because I feel it's much more about my intuitive sense, and I have an intuitive sense that this is you. You trying to focus on work, but having emotions for this one, and it's really a kind of frustrating for you. And that might disturb your concentration around this work situation. So, but somehow the money is gonna, I'm not saying that you will be without money, but it might be a delay if there's some kind of bonus or some larger sum coming in here. If there's something you're hoping or wishing for when it comes to money, you might have to really train yourself to be more patient. So let's see about love, if it corresponds with what I saw here. We're going to ask the universe and the cards about love in 2022. What can you expect? What is coming in for you, Gemini, in 2022? I'm going to ask the universe and the cards to show us what kind of energies you can expect here. Well. Interesting that this card, healing and feeling hurt or shut out or in the cold, is on this card, 9 of Swords, troubling thoughts and feeling restricted somehow. And this Wheel of Fortune is above this person, this energy. It's not gender specific, it's male here, but it could be any gender really. It's about the energy. This is a very forceful, intellectually sharp person with whom there could be mutual feelings here. Wheel of Fortune is going to bring this. This is how I read this. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune is going to bring in this person with whom you're going to work somehow. And it's going to be challenging for you to mix work and emotional love and work. It's going to be somehow troubling to you. So this might indicate that this would be a boss or someone. It's not really okay to mix these two. So this is a kind of frustrating situation. And I also see the Ace of Swords here as an incredible chemistry here between you work-wise. So there's a lot of ideas, interesting ideas on the table here, but there's also the frustration of the hindrance or the difficulty to mix business and pleasure here. So this might really trigger you somehow, and maybe also the other person. We're going to take one clarification on this card. Why is this card of hurt, healing, and wounds here, feeling shut out? And the Nine of Swords, the frustration. What is this? What is this indicating for you, Gemini, in 2022? Okay, so this is indicating that you're somehow going to have to stand your ground here. This could be about boundaries. And, you know, if, for example, if you mix business and pleasure, in certain situations it can work really well. In other situations it can be a problem because, for example, if this would be your boss, there could be a problem if there's private feelings, romantic feelings, or some kind of romantic involvement here. It can be very difficult to switch between your roles. So, for example, if you're going to ask for a higher salary or something, or a better position, it can be very, very difficult if you are also at the same time involved with this person, or vice versa. If you are this person's boss and you're in love with them and you want to give them everything, but at the same time you have to be professional and you can't give them more than someone else in the same position. And so this could really catapult some difficult conflicts, both inside of you or between you. So it seems like, if I'm reading the energies here and listening to my intuition, that there could be a challenge here for you in 2022 about your roles, your identity, your boundaries, and not mixing things together, standing your ground. That could be your challenge here. But I'm gonna ask for some advice around this because it's a really interesting situation here. And I think we all know this situation. Somehow we can relate to it. So I'm gonna ask for some advice for you, dear Gemini, on how to handle this situation or this energy in 2022. Okay. So I'd say really try to avoid any kind of war here, or you might not need to go into any conflict about this, really. Because if you do, there won't be a good result of conflict here. Because, I mean, in some situations, I am very flexible here, because I think you can't say that the truth is never go into conflict or always go into conflict. Sometimes conflict is necessary and could be very constructive and good. But in this case, it won't really bring any good for you. What you need is to put down the armor around this conflict and really try to be generous and understanding and giving, and both to yourself and the other person. So I'd say show your cards, be transparent, and Try to understand the other person's situations, listen to them. And by being generous in your attitude, I don't mean that you have to give this person all your money or say it's okay, it can work for nothing but because I love you. That's not what I'm saying here. But being generous more in your emotion and your attitude, like really listening and understanding the other person's perspective here, and showing that you do understand their position, but at the same time you have another perspective, and if you listen to them, there's much higher chance for them listening to you as well. And it won't hurt to give them some compliments and to show them that you do like them, and you might have to reveal that you like them more than appropriate maybe. So let's see, I'm going to take one more clarification on this War card here. Yes, it is as I said. If you put down the swords here, if you just don't go into warrior mode here, don't go into conflict, there's really good potential here for both privately and professionally. You could build something really solid with this person. And if you believe in that, maybe you might know that this is a twin flame card, if you believe in twin flames. If you don't, doesn't matter, because this card indicates some really, really good energy for building something stable, fruitful, really fruitful with this person. So interesting. I think I'm going to have one of the Jungian cards here as well, like general advice for 2022. So this is 12. I'm going to take the 12th card, and this deck is not a really classical interpretation. Some of the cards are completely different interpretation from the classical tarot. But let's see, I really like this deck. And there's so much wisdom here. And it's based on Carl Jung's theories. So I'm going to have the 12th card here for you as a general advice for 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, strength again. Well. So yes, as I said, this is almost funny. It's a control of sexual currents here. There's a great sexual power here. And especially in this card. And it is, it's kind of the dark forces behind the innocent facade. It's the underworld. It's all that really triggers that hot, steaming, on almost animal-like sexuality in you. And you're gonna have to control that, or I wouldn't say control, but relax about it. And you can feel it. You can acknowledge it's there with this person I'm talking about. But really be attentive so that it doesn't take over your brain and your rationality here, because this is in your body. This is in your deepest emotional and animalistic instinct. You feel very, very attracted to this person, and you want to just maybe jump into bed with them and give it all and just loosen up the passion. But since you're going to be in a work situation with this person, it's not a good idea to just give in and release all that energy. In this situation, you're going to have to be the master of that animal, that beast in you. So a really interesting challenge for you here in 22. I think it's going to be exciting, and I think you're going to handle it well, especially when you have this reading, right? So good luck, Gemini, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.